Hey guys, it's Izzy and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to look at GitHub, which is a version control system. So if you looked at my last video, we did some really simple stuff on HTML and CSS. So we've written some of our code and that's all well and good, but what happens when we want to edit it and save it and edit it and save it? You're going to end up with thousands of files on your computer. So instead of basically having thousands of files on your computer, it would be a lot easier if we had a system where we could go back and basically track the code that we had written before. And if we've started writing something and we've got really far and, it's nearly done and then there's 3 more steps to go, but it all goes wrong, you can basically go back to the version you had before where everything was working well. GitHub is also a collaborative tool. So if there's loads of developers working on the same, pieces of code at once, we can all branch off from one another, work on our stuff, and without interrupting what everyone else is working on, and merge them together at the end. To github.com, you're going to find this page here, and all you have to do is sign up for GitHub. It's super easy, super quick. I already have an account, so I'm just going to sign into that now. And what you have on the left here is all your repositories. So these are all the projects that I'm working on at the moment, which I can then, add pieces of code to, and I can push new work to these projects while saving all the older versions of them. So if you sign up super quick, you can do that, and you can also download a desktop version of GitHub. So now we're simply going to create a new repository. If you have just signed up, you won't have any other repositories here. So let's click on new, and let's call this demo. Like we have our demo HTML and CSS from the last video. You can write a description if you want. Generally, it's known to keep code public. It's just sort of one of those things. And you can also add a README file, which is basically at the beginning, it creates a page where you can describe what your repository is about. So let's click on Create Repository, and that's going to be doing that for us now. Okay. So here we have our repository with our README, and what we're going to do is commit some code to it. What we're going to do now is we're going to open this up with our GitHub desktop, which is what we want. And we're basically going to clone this demo to our desktop GitHub. And here we have it with my other repositories under my name here. Now we're in my demo repository. Let's reveal it in the Finder. Okay, so it's going to be under my local repositories here. And here as it stands, it just has the README and nothing else in it. And so what you could do now is you could open up new files using Visual Studio Code or Visual Studio and save them within this folder, and you can then commit them and push them up to your GitHub online. Because I'm not going to spend ages writing any code out, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these 2 files that we worked on earlier, and I'm going to pop them into this demo file just for demonstration. Here we go. And if we look here on our demo, we have now 2 new files that have come into our repo. So let's push this up. If we want to commit this piece of code, we always have to give a summary. It is always required. So let's just call this my initial commit. It's better to be more explanatory, and you can give a description. And the reason it is better to be more explanatory is if you are looking back through pieces of code and you wanted to get back to a certain version of your code, it is so much more easy if you can see where it is that you stopped last time. So let's give that a commit. And then if we push this up to our origin, we are going to see that is now gone onto our browser version of GitHub. And if we refresh this page, we now have our demo CSS and our demo HTML files on the web. So we can now access this from any computer or, wherever you are in the world, and you can keep on top of where everything is. So I just wanted to show you guys on the HTML file, let's change it up a little bit, and it will basically change within our GitHub desktop and show that these changes have happened, and you can recommit, this version of your code. So let's make this goodnight world, and we're able to see the changes we have made. And so let's commit this change now. So I'm going to call it goodnight world, because that's what we've changed it to, and push that back up. And if we go onto our web version of GitHub, and let's refresh this page, and we can see our new commit here, goodnight world, and that we've edited our demo HTML. So that's it today on GitHub, guys. It's a really basic tutorial. I understand it can be a little bit overwhelming at the beginning. It took me a while to get to grips with GitHub. Please leave me any feedback if you're anything you're confused about, or if anyone has a clearer explanation of how to start it up. But overall today we've just downloaded GitHub, created our first repository, and committed and pushed our code. I'm going to be creating more videos like this, so please like and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much, guys.